Hi there. Over the next 2 minutes, I want to make you think and reflect upon how much information you present to your students at any one given moment in time in your lessons. Now, what I'm about to talk about isn't just for teachers actually presenting to students as well, because unfortunately and frustratingly, at conferences and professional learning sessions, teachers do this to teachers as well. And they put a significant amount of information on the slide immediately. And as teachers, we generally like to use things like PowerPoint, Google Slides, and we're suckers for, within those presentation tools, using lots of bullet points. And what happens is generally we put all the bullet points on the slide and reveal them all and show them all straight away. And what then happens is our kind of natural inquisitive mind as humans, when we put text on the screen, we want to read it. And I talked about this in one of my previous videos about how when you read information to students, they'll be reading it at the same time, but it'll be slightly out of sync and they get that inner voice in their head, so it's awful. So what happens here as well is when you put 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points on the board and you reveal them all at the same time, naturally we want to read it, so we just read from the top one all the way down. And you might be still talking about the first one and wanting your students to have attention and focus on what you're saying on the first one. But actually they're probably midway through the slide, through the bullet points on the slide, and they get to the end and they then just switch off because, well, I've read the information on the board and that's it. So they're not really focusing on what you're talking about. So this is really important, just from a basic kind of, focusing of attention. Never mind cognitive load of putting lots of information on and sending them into cognitive overload, but just focusing on what you want them to say, what you're saying and what you want them to think about. So lots of ways to do that. Very easy as well. This isn't a difficult thing to do. We can use the slide animations, so we can have bullet points appearing one at a time as you click through them. You can have semi-transparent shapes if you want put over the rest of the bullet points, so you can kind of demonstrate that there's more things to come, but they're kind of out of focus. You can use rectangles, highlighted rectangles to draw people's attention just around the bullet point that you want to. You can use arrows, anything that really gets them to focus on exactly what you're talking about, rather than just putting lots of bullet points on and hoping that they're still with you by listening to what you're saying, because they're not going to be. Hopefully that's been useful. If it has, join the conversation below and in your staff room and feel free to share.